everyone. I arrived early enough at the airport to make a quick video based on the conversation I had with my mom on my way to the airport. I arrived early, so I didn't have to deal with lines, any of those kinds of things. And it gives me time to journal. I have my journal out. I'm almost at the end of this one. I'm ready to go to the next journal. But what I want to talk about is what your birthday and your numbers can say about you, and even how I use them in coaching. So like I said, me and my mom were on our way here, and she had said, I just don't understand the numerology. And I was telling her, I don't necessarily need you to understand the numbers, because I took the time to understand that. I'm hoping you understand the message that is in the numbers. So some things about my mom. My mom is saved, aka she's a Christian. She loves God, right? She loves Jesus, right? And she has a powerful connection to God. She trusts her connection to God. It's been something that she's nurtured since I was a little girl. She talks about when she got saved, all that kind of stuff. That's a big deal to her. And it really set the foundation of my own life as well. But this is about her. And so I want to talk about the 20th of March. And so if your birthday is the 20th of March, this would actually apply to you as well. And I'll give some caveats as to how it could apply differently. So like I said, she said, I just don't get the math. And then she said, I counted across, but I'm sure that you don't do it like that. Well, actually, yes, I do. And so an example of what that means. So for March 20th, which is her birthday and a few other birthdays here, it would be 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus her year. She just turned 71, so I'll let you all do the math. But that number came out to a 25-7. Something else I've noticed with the numbers, especially in families, I've noticed that numbers repeat. So my mom has a life path of a 25-7. I have a destiny number of double 7. What does 7 mean? So then I started explaining her. 7 is the lightning fast insight. For someone like her who is a believer, I said to her, 7 is the top of the 7, if you can imagine, is in the heavens, getting all the heavenly things and bringing it down to earth. The bottom of the 7 is the head or the heads of people that you're sharing this knowledge with. Questions to ask are, when you receive a heavenly inspired message, are you actually sharing it with everyone? Not every message is to be shared. So what are you doing with the messages you received? It could also be hunches. 7s are all about learning how to know and how to trust and how to perfect your own hunches. Good questions to ask with that are, what happened the last time you listened to yourself and followed it, and what happened when you didn't? There are some lessons learned with that. So also with a 7, as far as that being her life path number, it's going to look different for everyone. So a 7 at 71 is going to look different than a 7 at, let's say, 36 or even 16 years of age, right? So she's pretty much mastered, or we hope by now, right? She's mastered a lot of her hunches. But if I'm talking to someone younger, I would ask them more questions about the hunches that they may or may not be receiving. And if they've learned to trust what they're hearing, trust their hunches, where they land in their body, I ask, where does that land in your body? What does that mean to you? So that they can start learning what their body is saying as far as going forward, especially if we've been in a culture that has taught, especially women, not to listen to themselves, or you're too emotional, or you're too this. But there are lessons to be learned in listening to yourself. I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to go into number 2. This one was all about counting across and what your birthday number says about you.